All right, Taurus. This is going to be your reading, Taurus, for October, mid-October almost. So, Taurus, I was getting for some of you guys, you were maybe on the verge of giving up on faith. This could be something you're dealing with, maybe separation or something to do with your kids. Maybe you feel you haven't seen them in a while. Man or woman that said your kids are protected. For some of you guys, you could have had an accident, something where you just, something changed within you. You could have felt you almost lost a child or your kids, and they're saying they're protected. As long as you believe, you have to have that belief God has them protected. And you, it's just like when I say, those, God will bless those who bless you. In other words, when I say it to myself, in the morning, God will bless me, bless those who bless me, and curse those who curse, me. When you have that faith and you walk in that power, olvídate. So some of you guys could be going through that, and you could have saw some magic work, and it's not really magic, but you've seen that faith. Maybe God proved it to you in a certain way, whether it be through your kids or through somebody close. Even yourself, you could have been asking for something. Please, God, get me out of this. And it's like he gets you out of a situation. And I feel like it makes you believe even better or more. You're being grateful, which is always best, no matter what. But for some of you guys, you want action, you want happiness. You could be in a rut. You could, if you're with a partner, there's something going on, and you're feeling a little bored. And some of you guys could be getting attention somewhere else, but you don't want it. And you could be dealing with somebody that doesn't want to talk. So we're going to use this deck for that. As much, let's get into it. For the ones that are dealing with a partner and maybe you feel like you don't know where you stand. Okay, let's see. Taurus, look, learning. So some of you guys could be wanting to learn, how can I please my man or my woman? That's what I picked up. For some of you guys, you're just learning more about, how to have a more of a bonding, or how to rejuvenate a marriage is what I'm getting. Look, daydreaming. Because I feel for some of you guys, if you're in a relationship, if you're in a long marriage, maybe you have a couple of years under your belt, and the spark, you feel like the spark has gone, You could be in separation with somebody, and look, I'm sorry, and then there's somebody here, and it's almost like you're hanging on to flowers, but they're not the same. There's something different. So you guys could be going through a trials and tribulations. Maybe your marriage is being tested. For some of you guys that are married, if you're in a long-term relationship, the same thing. And what happens usually is what I'm picking up for some of you guys that have been in that situation, you get too used to each other, and you're not giving each other, it said learning. So some of you guys, maybe in the beginning, you weren't able to compromise. People grow, we change. You're not the same person that you were last month, last year, even 2 weeks. People start to change. And sometimes we don't verbalize that. We don't communicate that. You know what, I feel I need to get in shape or something. And your partner doesn't really know, especially when you're in a long-term relationship. It's almost like both of you guys you feel like they should know already. Like mind readers, you should know. And both of you guys want to strive. Look, remember, learning, you want to strive. And some of you guys, it says right here, I have grown up since our last encounter. I've been working on myself. So some of you guys are actually, and it's coming from both of you guys. There could be in a relationship, if you guys have been together for a while, for my long-term relationships or marriage, and you got to understand, you go through the honeymoon phase, and you expect things to be, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, and then you get into a crunch when it comes financially, and there's no open communication, if that's the case. But learning, for some of you guys, you're learning, and you guys want to thrive, you want to change, you want to mature, and it's okay. There's people that are old. Some of our parents need to mature. I had to say it. And you could be thinking, your parents could be like thinking, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? See, because if you're dealing with a parent that you feel like there's some kind of immaturity, this could be it could be a parent, maybe both of them, or most likely you start to see that side of them come out when they're a widow or when the other partner died, and they just feel like, because both of them knew how to take care of each other. So if you're experiencing that with a parental figure, and you got to understand that for some of you guys, they had you when they were in their teens, and they just had to bust ass, they had to work, and some of you guys are feeling that pattern. Because even I talked to a priest, we were talking about that, and he said even they could be 90 years old and they still sometimes are immature, and that's okay. Look, promises. This person promised, you have somebody that promised to be loyal. It says, I wish you knew just how special you are to me. It kills me not to be able to tell you. So some of you guys, they don't know how to tell you. They don't know how to I don't know. I'm blunt. I'll tell you how it is, but you have people they don't know. And look, there's two people you guys could have had an argument. One of them left, or for some of you guys, you could have broke it off. Insecurities were both of you guys could have been insecure. One of you guys, look what flipped over. What did I say? Communication. Communication really brings the passion. Because at the end of the day, if you learn and to communicate and be on that same page, like learn each other every month, every week, every day, look, because it'll avoid these doubts, because there's no communication. Intensity, and it can get intense because it's time, and for some of you guys, you're at the verge where you could lose somebody, look, and have regrets because of expectations that both of you guys probably can't even meet, and both of you guys could not realize how blessed you are to have each other. Look, you guys could be twin flames, and here you guys are arguing, not wanting to compromise. And in reality, both of you guys remember how you guys used to message each other, message of love. Like, for my fellas, if you're listening, you could be texting her, I'm on my way, be ready in the bed, make sure you shave the kitty, or just it's something that brings excitement. Because for some of you guys, you could be bored and all that, and you're blessed. Look, you're laying in the bed ready, and for my ladies, call them, hey, are you almost home? Because I'm ready. But instead, you guys silence that, and you could say, Infinite, but I tried. I'll walk butt naked and he's still not seeing me. It could be karmic battles. They're meant for you guys to overcome it. And I'm here just like the communication. For some of you guys, if one of your partners is not communicating, is what I'm picking up, you guys are twin flames, but you forgot, or there's something that could be going on. Us, man, we don't like to talk and be vulnerable because you already know. If you don't know, we don't like that, but because we're not expected to show our feelings. And then so there could be signs instead of you walking away, or man or woman, find out. Because remember, the two of you guys together are more powerful than one. And you could go, some of you guys, you could run off with another person that's giving you that attention, new beginnings. You can look at it that way. But then again, then you're going to be in regret. This person might not meet the expectations later. In the beginning, yeah, you already know, but this could be something that'll last, 2 or 3 weeks, and you already messed up this other relationship. So that's what I'm getting. Look, you're doubting an inspiration, and they want you to wait. It could be health issues or something. So Taurus, sun, moon, rising, anywhere in your chart. Look, this fell out again, regret. So if you're in regret, maybe you want to talk, maybe be the first. And if you lost somebody and you just lost them, you can't sit in regret. You got to let go. And you got to be honest. Okay, I screwed it up. Take that L. Sometimes God will close that door. The other person doesn't want to come back for whatever reason. It is what it is. It was 11/11 when I said that. Look, there were obstacles. And from here on, how do you handle it, man or woman? Because for some of you guys, you know, the kids could be with the other parent, and you just gotta know your kids are protected, is what I'm hearing. It says the angels ask you, offer your true self up to the world and search for the truth. Act upon the truth and tell the truth, even though it may not make you popular. Say what you think and think what you say. So for some of you guys, both of you guys could be holding back, Taurus. Like we saw it in that other deck. And it's like speaking the truth is gonna be hard for some people. I don't understand. It's hard. I don't find it that way. But speaking the truth is always gonna be best. Let the other person determine if they want to stay with you, if it's that bad, if it's something to do with, you know, cheating or something you did wrong. You always got to give that opportunity. Sometimes being, you know, honest, telling the truth, a man or a woman is gonna they're gonna think of you like, they're gonna have you higher on the pedestal because they know that you're not gonna bullshit around. It's like, okay, you told me the truth. It takes courage. And if they don't take you, and if they happen to say, you know what, I can't handle it. I'm glad you told me, but I gotta cut it there, and you gotta respect each other. There could be one of you guys that says, but I forgave you for all the times you were in you know, there was infidelity there, you cheated and this and that. And the other person might say, yeah, but on my end, and even though they cheated more and you might have forgave them, you got to respect their morals. You know, all of us have it. We can't compromise them because that's something we carry within. It might not be, you know, equal. You might say, well, that's not fair. Why? Each one, you know, because some of you guys knew, and it could happen. It could have happened where you at a spite, and it, you know, those are consequences. And for some of you guys, you'll be surprised. It could be, you'll never know until you do it. Because when you lie and they find out later, it makes it worse. And then you look dumber, you know, man or woman. I hate to say it, look, and it takes forgiveness. Sometimes, they said a lot of times, people forgive easier when there's honesty when it comes to forgiveness. Because a lot of the times, you know, the obstacles of being honest and really coming for forgiveness, you could find that your partner, your mate will actually level up and say, you know what, fuck, it was close. I almost lost my family, my kids, everything. Look, and you know, I don't know if I'll find love, true love, and that's crazy. Look, 1444, and it takes forgiveness with honesty. Because man, who wants to sit there and make up, give forgiveness, and then find out later, you know, from other people? No, it makes it worse. Everything in and around me is in perfect harmony. So you could be right now feeling like you moved on and it was the right decision. You could feel like everything's perfect, like you feel free. Because for some of you guys, you could have been in a relationship where it was too abusing, boring. There was too much insecurity. Don't wear this, don't wear that, and I feel like that insecurity is coming from, like I said, from being immature. There's no communication. One of you guys could be dealing with somebody that wants to make you jealous, and it makes it worse. Flirting here and there, and some of you guys are just getting advice from people that are no good. You could be listening to people, you know, on the internet for advice, but they could be a person that doesn't have success in relationships, and they're bitter as fuck. So of course they're gonna tell you fuck that, or you know, when you're dating, they just want your, you know, el colito, that ass, and what if you want to give it up, you know, and they're telling you no, and then you miss. For a lot of you guys, it's even, they're bitter, even though they might say I'm not bitter. They can be bitter as fuck, and they don't like other people having, because they might not have luck in love, and that's okay. Maybe in another past life, they had a lot of love, but in this could be reference to you guys. In this lifetime, they came, and now they're feeling how the other person felt, you know, and they can look good, but they just no tienen pegue. They could have kids too, but doesn't mean, why did they not stick around? And I'm laughing because even males could be like, fuck, infinite. It happened to me twice. There's people that get married 3 or 4 times. You're like, fuck. You just got to be patient. Patience. And, being here on earth, you just got to trust and enjoy your journey, regardless of the outcome. If it doesn't work out, like I have a Cuban friend, he's been married 8 times, and I said, man, and he's ugly. If I'm ugly, he's uglier. And I tell him, he's a little bit older, but and I said, why so many times? He goes, man, it didn't work out. But this guy, he's very happy. So he goes, man, I guess he likes the honeymoon kind of feeling, but 2 or 3. And he says, no, we went our own ways, good and everything, no problems. And I said, damn, he must have like 16 kids. And he's like, no, he didn't, he liked to enjoy life on his own, maybe 1 or 2 kids. But some of you guys got to let go and enjoy love. Look, be patient, be honest with yourself, And look, commitment and healing. For some of you guys, you have to heal your commitment issues. Be honest with yourself. Is it you or them? Some of you guys, I'm telling you, you could be regretting you let a good person go. It was maybe divine guided. It said, I think, twin flames. But if you messed up, what are you going to do? Don't be doing witchcraft. That shit will go back tenfold. Just go to self-love. Look, handle self-love. This is where you level up. And this is where your joy is going to come. And you just got to slow down. Look, just take it easy. I'm telling you, once you do your work, things come to you easily and effortlessly. Plus, you learn how to be on your own, and then you connect. Man, get the fuck out of here. Let's see. What is it that you need to listen up that you're missing, okay? For Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, anywhere in your chart. Now, I'm a little slow today, man. I'm tired, so some of you guys could be drowsy or you got a hangover or something. Put it in the comments. All right. That's too many cards. I think I'm going to pick one for you. So some of you guys, you just got to make up your mind, pick it. Vámonos, go with it. And that could be a bucket list. Like, what do I want to do? Like, I'm hearing like every day, we treat it like an excitement, like an adventure. But how can I do that? I'm hearing infinite. By healing the inner child. For some of you guys, you grew up too quick. I'm telling you, if it wasn't your parents, it's you guys that got married early. You missed your whole childhood, your teenage, you didn't get to. Some of you guys were crazy, you did, regardless. But a lot of you guys, you could have been having your kids at 13, 15. And for some of you guys, you're worried. You don't want it to repeat. Your mother did that, and then you did it, and here you are, a single mother out here struggling. Your kids are getting to age. Now you're worried about them. You don't want them to fall in those, because you know how rough it was. Some of you guys are crazy. You out here with your daughter and acting like your sisters, and no, you gotta put your foot down on her. All right, this is what it says. Listen, bitch, it says, your body doesn't need approval. It needs your freaking love. So some of you guys could be, wanting validation, outside validation. You want to feel sexy. I'm telling you, some of you guys could be competing with a daughter in a younger age. And you feel like the older man, no, you could be sexy as fuck. But right here, it's almost like you're seeking validation, and you could be abusing it. You could be overworking. You're not wanting to work out. You could be falling in depression, not taking care of it. Some of you guys need to quit some kind of habits. And this could be self-love. For some of you guys, you want the action. You don't want the rubber toys. You want the action. But that could also be an addiction, Focus on something else. Forget what you've seen on screen and focus on what feels good to you. And that could mean like you could be basing yourself off of whatever you're watching. Oh, that bitch is fine, and why can't I look like that? You don't need to do all that body work. Some of you guys, you'll be surprised. A lot of us guys, we like natural. The fake is fake, pero the natural, get the fuck out of here. It says, screw the clock. Your pleasure is worth every damn second. So I'm seeing a lot of you guys, what I'm picking up is you guys could have been, both of you guys, either one of you guys not spending the time, not spending the quality time. Even when it came to sex, it was like right away or boring is what I heard. And that's why maybe one of you guys are learning, how do I get my pito hard, you know, harder? And that's good. Don't ever be embarrassed. For my fellas, don't be embarrassed. Even for my ladies, communication, that could be what I'm hearing. You want to communicate. You've probably been researching, man, let's get it. Honey, what about if I get you a cock ring? And he's like, what the fuck? What are you trying to say? Let that shit go. You hear the horse? Some of you guys, you were like hung like a horse, but you need extra blood in there. Pinchy ring, shit, or a pill. And the ladies are like, fuck yeah, you hear the horse? Never be embarrassed. It happens to all of us. A lot of you guys, you got to change your diet. For the ones that are still at age, man, pay attention. You don't want to be having problems later on, man and woman at this case. Because for a lot of you guys, you know, sexuality is very important for a bond. Some of my ladies right here with this body right here, it's like you feel like, you know, because whatever you're watching on TV or whatever your person's drooling over, yeah, that's visualized. But when they're in the bedroom, because you know he ain't gonna get somebody from TV like that. No, that's just the fantasy. So for a lot of you guys, you could be sexy as hell. It's your aura, your energy, the way you treat him, the way you know, like, no, a lot of you guys have a misconception about that. Oh, I gotta lose all this weight. No, you could be sexy as hell. The way you talk, the way you treat them. You know, don't be afraid to tell them. You know what? Before you put it in, hold on, come and give me at least, put a timer before you put the little tip in there. Give me at least 15 minutes. Play with it. Let him get his mustache. You know, let me put some wax on your mustache, and you know, yeah, right there. Don't ever be embarrassing. Some of you guys, that's what happens. A fellow or another woman is what they're gonna talk pretty to either one of you guys. It doesn't matter the gender. You know what I'm saying? You could do the same thing. What is out there? It could come with consequences, diseases and all kinds of shit. So you got to be very careful, you know, especially when you want to be intimate, like you want to be intimate, like the good, nasty one, like when you guys were teenagers, all of that you could have. You know, there's old people. My grandpa was one of them. He's like 90 something. My grandma already passed away, but his dad, my great grandfather, 2 women, they passed. He still outlived them, in other words. And we would laugh. He just, le decían el burro. They, you know, bloodlines with a high intimacy or whatever, because they all had a shitload of kids. Anyways, that's what I got for you, Taurus. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, anywhere in your chart. Get the communication up, eh? Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment.